And that was the track I Love Being My Mother's Sound by Purple Mountains. And the first track you heard was Unreleased 23 by Death Trieco. I kind of want to do something more like an Italian experimental sound. They probably don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. It's like Italian, like early avant garde electronic music. I think it's like late 80s. Yeah, I don't know. I personally like that music. It's kind of weird for the most part. But yeah, I just like weird experimental music. I've been kind of going on that rabbit hole. And then the second track we did, Purple Mountains, which I love. I mean, David Berman, he's one of my favorite. Well, he was one of my favorite musical songwriters. I think I can easily put him up there as like a top 30 singer songwriter. I mean, he did his solo work with his solo work, then his work in the 90s to the 2000s with Silver Jews, and then his last project was Purple Mountains. So yeah, rest in peace, David Berman, for real though. Good afternoon, listeners. This is Coffee Noise. I'm your host, DJ Marlin. Today it is Tuesday, April 23rd. It is almost the end of the semester. I am both looking forward to and not looking forward to the end of the school year because I had to pay 500 something dollars for summer one. So that's fun. Um, I have a job, so I can easily pay that off. But you know what? That's $500 I don't want to pay out of pocket, though. Well, I mean, I only have like this year to go, and then I graduate in the fall, which I am looking forward to. So I guess that's the trade-off. You know, you want to graduate a bit earlier, you gotta pay up. Um, Sounds a bit. What's the word? I can't remember the name of the word actually. I cannot find my notes. Yay. Anyways, let's get a quick look at the weather right now. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. Mm. All right, currently in the city of Edinburgh, it is 83 degrees with a high of 84 and a low of 64 degrees for today. So it's a very nice, cool day. It's been cloudy all day. I personally do like this weather, actually. You know, very calm. You don't really do much. Do your work. Maybe get a coffee here and there. I got coffee yesterday. I finally tried out that place at the library, the first floor. I don't know what's the name of that place again. I don't remember. I got myself a caramel cold brew or caramel macchiato. Uh, don't know what that is. It was actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. Maybe it's a tad bit too sweet, but I'm pretty sure that's just from the caramel syrup, not the coffee bean itself. Or I'm hoping so. But I was very pleasantly surprised. And I should have gotten a hot coffee, but decided, no, I'm going to be calm for today. I'm going to get myself an iced coffee. And I think when it comes to a macchiato, iced coffee just hits a bit better. I don't know. I Yeah, I think macchiatos they're just better with ice, and what are they called? Chai lattes they go better with with a regular hot, steaming hot actually, cup of Joe. What am I on for today? Well, they canceled my class for today, so I've been busy all day with my class at 7:55, which I've actually gotten used to and probably started liking taking the late night class, the 7:55 class, from 7:55 to 10:25. It's really relaxing. Well, I find it relaxing. I know other people in my class they don't really see it like that. They get a bit tired, which it's understandable. It is a late night class. Me personally, I find it really calming. Less people on campus trying to deal with that, and also you got better parking spaces. If you park on that side of the campus, I take my class in the education complex. I think what it's called. I don't know. This is my last year of college. I don't even know half the. I don't even know the names of the buildings. I just know how to get there and what they look like. That interdisciplinary building that's across the library. I just call it the long building because I'm never gonna fully call it the interdisciplinary. I can't even say that word correctly. So I just say the long building or whatever. Does that make me lazy? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am lazy. Yeah, but is it a bad thing? It depends on who you ask for the most part. I'm gonna ask myself, and I'm gonna argue, no, it is not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. Does that make me a loser? Well, it's not. We're not gonna get into that detail for today. But yeah, yeah. You know what? We're just gonna go along with that, and I have no idea where my train of thoughts are going right now. Actually, I am pretty tired. I'm only on around 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of sleep, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get a sip of water right now. We're gonna play into the next tracks right now. This is TLC by Turnstile and Venison by Home Is Where. Hope you enjoy. And that was Home Is Where with the track Venison. Beginning into that well, I'm not really not getting into it. I already am part of it. That's one of the many bands in the fifth wave of modern emo music. Obviously, the first wave. You have your pre emo in the '90s. You had a lot of bands that came out then. As much as I love fifth wave emo, '90s emo is still gonna take my place as the best type of emo. I'm not actually talking about real emo music here. I'm not talking about like that weird millennial emo from like the late 2000s. Remember that era in 2010s? Yeah, the whole I've heard some people classify pa- Panic at the Disco as emo. Um, when I heard that, a little bit inside of me hurt. It's like, oh, that doesn't sound right, because it's not. They're not emo. They're just bad, and that's like that transcends all genres. Just being a bad musician, not characters. There are bad, horrible musicians that are just bad people in general. I feel like you can already know who we're talking about here. But I'm just talking about like artists who seem like genuinely good people, but their music is just how do I say this in a nice manner? Just bad, just really bad. So like I don't know, you know, we're not gonna talk about that era of pseudo emo. I'm gonna call that pseudo emo, the 2010s. So yeah, but yeah, '90s emo's been my kind of thing. Obviously, I've been getting into they had okay. I was getting into At the Drive-In, and this year for Record Store Day, they had a pressing of At the Drive-In. I think it was like a live album. I wasn't able to. I didn't pick it up because, well, I wasn't gonna buy any vinyl records this year. And then I saw it on the day it sold, and I was like, oh man, I should have gone. But and one of my friends told me like, why don't you just buy it resale? I'm sorry, have you seen the prices for resale, especially for like a Record Store Day pressing? I don't know if anyone told you, I'm not flush with cash, so I'm not willing to spend a couple $100s on a vinyl record. Would I? Yeah, if I really like it, but it's a lot. It's asking a lot from me, and I'm not willing to drop a pretty penny. Although I have dropped what was it like $70 on like a vinyl record, but that was Swans the Beggar from I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Wait, let's see. Who made my album of the year? No, it was actually from last year. Wow, oh, time has flown by. Time has really flown past. I can't remember like what year's albums come out, come in. I just can't keep up with all of them. So yeah, but dropping a couple $100s on a vinyl record, there are people who do that. Am I against it? Of course not. Do whatever you want with your own money. But me personally, the most I'm spending on a vinyl record is I'm gonna say $80. I'll push it up to $100 on some cases, but I'm not willing to spend a lot. Anyway, let's get into the next track right now. This is so I had to do some African funk music for the first half, and then we're gonna set off the first half of the show with some American modern day rock. This is Yempa Abba by Atakak. I don't know. I think it's Arabic. I don't know. Anyways, it's really good African funk music. get into that. Really good summer music. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. All right, let's get into it. All right, we are back. It is 2:31. This is the start of the second half of this show. Let's see. Let's talk about something in music-wise. Last Friday was the release of the new Taylor Swift album, The Torture Post Department. Um, to all the Swifties, I say this not to hate on her, but as a critic, it's not good. It just feels really washed up. I don't know how to say it without sounding mean. Maybe just being a critic is being mean for the most part. A lot of the writing with the lyrics on it, it just felt kind of cheap. I didn't really understand it. Like 1830s, like what do you want exactly? And then you had the. She also dropped things like the extra bit of the album. I don't. I just. I tried listening to it. I just couldn't. I stopped after like 5 songs. Um, I'll try to listen to it fully to get like maybe like a full on give it some time for it to click with me, and then maybe it would actually get a decent score. But for most part on the internet, on my side of the internet, rate your music and online internet music boards, it's probably gonna be one of the weakest Swift albums of her current career, and it felt kind of sad. I don't know. I mean, you kind of built all this hype behind it. People were expecting, I don't know, something amazing. I think that's the bare minimum people were expecting. Could it be people's expectations were too high? Probably so. Expectations is the first gateway to disappointment. But even then, I don't. I'll try listening to it again. Maybe it can get I'll try listening to it full. Maybe it'll get like a decent rating, but from what I'm hearing right now, it'll be lucky if it gets like a 3.5 out of 5 for me. So it'll probably get like a 7 out of 10 if it's lucky. But from the tracks I've heard, probably a 5 out of half, 5 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10 if I'm feeling generous. But that's only for like good albums that just had some missing a little bit of potential. But so far on that album, yeah, no, I think Pitchfork they gave it it was like a 6.6 out of it, which is surprising. I was expecting Pitchfork to get maybe like a 7, maybe a 7 out of 5, 7.4, whatever they want to do their numbers. But no, a 6.6, which I was actually pretty surprised at that they're gonna like give it better. But I think maybe people are starting to realize maybe you don't have to release an album every year, every other year. I'm not saying that you can't, but I don't know. When you have lyrics that sound kind of washed up, maybe take some time with it. I don't know. Let's go to the next track. This is Hunter by the band Have a Nice Life from their 2008 double album Death Consciousness. It was like probably one of the first, or not the first, one of the more modern internet albums from things like released in 2008. Didn't get traction from until like 2010, 2011. And we are back. Before we get into the last two tracks of today's show, I want to go over Trouble Magazine. They did their top 50 post-rock albums of all time. There's 50, so I'm not going to go through all of them for obvious sakes. But I decided to run by the top 15 albums that Trouble Magazine says perfectly encapsulates what post-rock is. Looking over that, I mean, the whole list, I mean, reviewers, critics, we're always going to have like our different style. Like, oh, I think this one's better than that. It's a little, we have a little arguments within the community. But honestly, looking at this list for the top 15, it's pretty good, actually. I gotta admit that. So let's just go 15 to 1. Coming out 15, we got Disco Inferno with their 1994 album, Disco Inferno Goes Pop. 14, going to Tortoise's 2006 album, Millions Now Living Will Never Die. Great album. Shout out to my professor. He's a big Tortoise fan. 13, we got Isis with the 2004 album, Pono Pitkikan. I can never say their name, but yeah, shout out to that band. 12, 2002 Shigeru Ross album, parentheses, I think that's what you call it. I don't know. Things are like Icelandic or something like that. Probably says something else. Icelandic. Coming in from number 11, we got Boris with their album At Last Feedbacker. Really good, loud, noisy post rock album, so I gotta give that. Number 10, we got Explosion in the Sky with their 2001 album Those Who Tell the Truth Shall Die, Those Who Tell the Truth Shall Live Forever. Still not sure what that album's supposed to mean. The name of the album, so whatever. Number 9, coming from 1999, Shigeru Ross's album. I can't even pronounce it. I really don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Icelandic. I can't even speak English for the most part, so I'll skip on that for now. Number 8, we got Talk Talk with their 1991 album Laughing Stock. Beautiful, beautiful album. Gotta admit that there. Number 7, Godspeed You, Black Emperor's 2000 album, Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven. Great album, can't really say much about that. Number 6, Mogwai's Young Team from 1997. Number 5, Tortoise's 1998 album, TNT. Really, I think that's a good starter album for anyone trying to get into Tortoise. Number 4, my darling of an album, Bark Psychosis' 1994 album, Hex. Love that album. Number 3, Talk Talk with their 1988 album Spirit of Eden. Really nice. Number 2 is giving it to the 1991 album Spiderland by Slint. And coming at number 1, I think this is kind of a given, from 1997, F sharp, A sharp, Infinity by the band Godspeed You, Black Emperor. I mean, I think most people in the post-rock community were kind of expecting, number 1's going to be a Godspeed You, Black Emperor album. But Slint at number 2. Actually, I was kind of expecting that. I was expecting maybe at number 3, Talk Talk, with their last album. That was kind of like when they went to the more avant-garde, noisy rock sound that we know. But, whatever. Anyways, let's get into some Minimal. This is like some Romanian minimal dance music or electronic. This is Overture. Alright, listeners, that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Today we played you a total of, I believe, 9 tracks, if I'm correct. I think 9. 9 or 8. I can't remember. I'm horrible at math. That is why I go into liberal arts and not into the STEM field. Because, I didn't really understand mathematics in high school. I took pre-cal and calculus during COVID when it was all online. I don't know if I missed it or not. Maybe it wasn't the best for my social skills, but I did not do math in class, which is far better. So I think that outweighs the harm. The benefits outweigh the harm on that one, but I don't know. I have to think about that. Anyways, as always, this week's playlist is available on Instagram. You can follow me there at WhatFor2003. I did a playlist on both Apple Music and Spotify. I've been listening to more Apple Music because I do like the high res, but it's only useful if you have a wired connection, since AirPods and Bluetooth, they can't do CD quality streaming, which is at 16 kilobits per second. No, not 16. CD quality. Maybe in the future they will do that. I don't know, because I do like using hi-fi gear with wired headphones. It just feels much more premium. You know what I'm saying? Probably not. Most of y'all are not audiophiles like I am, but yeah. One word: don't go into the audiophile community. It's not that it's bad. It's just really expensive. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's really expensive. Let's see. I got one more minute left. Any final thoughts I have? Torn shoelaces on white shoes. That's probably going to finish up my thoughts for today. That's it from me. I was your host, DJ Marlin. You were tuned in to Coffee Noise. Remember, you're listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley's only student station. Let's see. Like I said earlier, listen to some African funk music. Perfect summer music to play with. I don't know, maybe I am just pretentious. Anyways, bye-bye.